Hello everybody, the name is Lembellaire Jr. and I am here with Mr. Jimmy Salami, but we all know him better as Wasiu. Wasiu.
You got the government name, okay.
Hey, I do thy research. You can blame the NCS Wiki for putting your whole identity out there.
Hey, it's out there. It's good.
But you, like I said, this is the man who you may have known a lot in the hip hop era, or should I say the EDM era, with the song, of course, Majesty, hitting I think millions upon millions of streams, like what put you and Apashe on the EDM map. But this is the man who has also grinded and left his mark in the rapping hip hop industry with so many incredible songs, singles, and of course a few albums here and there. All began because of one big inspiration in that journey. Outkast, Andre 3000.
Absolutely.
I had to ask, what made him, what lured you to him so much in his, his music and just who he is as a person?
He's an alien. He's a rap alien, and he's just so good with words. He's so good at vividly painting pictures. And then I fell in love with that as a kid. And then, I just kind of felt a lot of similarities with doing hip hop from the North was versus what he was doing from the South, when it was really about the East Coast versus the West Coast. And then,
right,
he famously said, the South got something to say, and I felt the same way about the North. I'm like,
yep,
the North got something to say, and I kind of, they had MTLiens. I'm like, you know what, MTLiens, I feel the same way, but just the opposite. And yeah, it's kind of ran with it, and I'm here now.
So I feel like regarding MTLiens, now we have, of course, you mentioned your couple of albums, MTLiens 1 and 2.
Yes.
What was the message of it? 'Cause I feel like the main message right off the bat was just to show people out there in Montreal, in Quebec, that there are people in this area who can deliver bars, who can deliver cadence, who can deliver such storytelling throughout their wordplay in this type of way. So I feel like it was just to just make a statement, or
yeah, it was like a showcase of skill. Like, yo, you know what? Don't forget about the North. I'm not don't forget, but hey, we're here too, type of thing.
Understood. Well, I think. Definitely, I do not forget. The North got something to say, South got something to say, East got something to say, West got something to say. We all got something to say.
Absolutely.
So you're just putting out your 2 cents out there in the world. And I have to ask though, regarding MTLiens 1 and 2, is there a song from there that really stuck out to you when you were making it? It could be from 1 or 2. It can be Tabula Rasa, of course, with K Tronda. He produced it for you.
Yeah.
Whatever song. What lured to you your best piece of work from the MTLiens era?
Oh man, that's a great question. Tabula Rasa is one I like a lot. Wow, I like 7 DJ. That's a tough question. I'm gonna get back to. Actually, you know what started the whole thing? I like Outer Space. It's really just an introduction.
Outer Space, the introduction. Yeah. Wow.
You know what? This is who I am. This is what we do here. We're Outer Space. We're not from here. Yeah, I think I'll go with Outer Space.
Okay, Outer Space it is. I was gonna, if I had to pick one out of my end, I feel like I had to pick The Kids. That one really lured to me because, well, you're talking to someone who was born in 1999. I always will have that, nostalgia kid type of person in me when it came to those type of things. Some of the lyrics that really stuck out to me, talking about certain things in life. It was we used to be like this when we were young. We used to enjoy all these types of things when we were kids. And it's are we when we grow up? It's do we still grow out of that? Are we still in that state? Something like me, I feel like I'm still an adult. I'm 26 years old, but I'm still a kid at heart. I will never, ever lose that spirit. You can call me Peter Pan. Sure. You can call me Neverland. I am just that type of person. So that's why the kids were so much to me.
It's like one of my favorite Kanye lines was, "I still won't grow up. I'm a grown ass kid." We just it's in us. We just kind of have to figure out what the world is, but we're still that.
Understood. But I feel like the more older we get, not only are we still keeping that kid person at heart, but we still are not gonna shy away from the things that are not so good, that are not so pretty.
Yeah.
For example, I will point out 2 pieces of work. One being, I think, your Black Lives Matter statement that you did with one of your artists, one of your friends. His name is Kloud. Can you speak about that?
Kloud, yeah, that was what was going on in the world, and I got hit up by Kloud, and I think we want to make a statement, and I was like, you know what, this is easy for me. It just kind of comes naturally. Throughout my career, I've spoken a lot about being black in North America, being black in Quebec, the experience. So for me, it just comes naturally. Whatever's going on in the world, what's going on in life, what's going on in my life, that's kind of just easily able to spit that on wax. So it was nothing for me.
And you and Kloud absolutely did your thing on that. It was definitely a statement that everyone needed to hear, especially during that time. Second piece that I feel like everyone needs to hear, that more people need to hear, is of course the work that is Candyland, the third album. I have to ask, what was the statement regarding that? 'Cause I feel like there was still a bit like, that type of energy from Kloud in that song. It's also still kind of infused in the work of Candyland.
Yeah, Candyland was like honestly, I wanted to put all those things together, like, talk about addiction, talk about having issues with honestly, a large part of it is talking about addiction, talking about like what you go through with dealing with that kind of stuff, and whatever your vice is, and then also talking about again, more of the stuff that I described in the post, but the deeper, darker meanings of like where the sugar comes from, and like
understood. I was say, does the candy represent like the drugs, that type of thing, like because it tastes so sweet, that type of thing?
Of course, yeah.
I was also going to ask,
whatever your vice is.
Right. I was going to suggest did you get inspiration from like another song that also kind of spoke about it? It's like a very old school song where it's like I can't remember the title, but it's like higher baby, get higher baby. Get higher, baby, and don't never come down. But he's talking about cocaine, like how it was in the 80s. I was thinking that was a bit of that energy, like infused for Candyland.
Absolutely, and it's like I said, it's whatever the vice is, but like whether it's women, whether it's actual sugar, whether it's like drugs, whether it's alcohol, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying. But it's really talking about whatever your addiction is, whatever you have to deal with, and how do you navigate that.
Understood. Now I also gotta speak about this because this was like really out there, especially during if you look in your IG page, when you mentioned Quebec, like you really represent Quebec pretty strongly.
I got the flout of this right here. I got Montreal right here. Yeah.
I'm just curious to know regarding the Quebec culture, the different types like food, songs, whatever in there, especially saying the word poutine correctly. It's not poutine, it's poutine.
Poutine, yeah, you got
the proper way to say it.
Exactly.
Is the Quebec culture something that's like, if you know, if you're like born there, then you like understand, or can anyone from the outside look in and learn about it and like, they can welcome you in if they feel like you're like, a brother, like, what, he might be from Quebec, but he's got the spirit, that type of thing?
That's a good question. Depends who you talk to. I think because even within Quebec, Montreal is such a different, it's so different than the rest of Quebec. So Montreal, it kind of feel like what Austin is in the middle of Texas, where it's like it's very multicultural, a lot of different vibes that you can get from there, where you don't get in the rest of the province. So I would say it depends where you at. If you come to Montreal, you got a little bit of the lingo, a little bit of the slang, a little bit of things. You'll be able to make your way. But it definitely depends on where you at, because there's definitely some places you go, it's gonna be tough to be accepted out there. But in Montreal, you're good.
Understood. So it's not like something you can walk up to, like, write down the rules, the unspoken rules, the unwritten rules, and be like, what, I'm gonna do all this research, and they know what, I'm gonna go to this place I know has a lot of Quebecs, walk up to them and be like try and.
Well, you know what? I mean, I have a few videos like that. So if you take down my rules and regulations or unwritten rules that I have on IG, I think you'll be good.
We'll be good. Okay, yeah. So pretty much the whole journal, the whole rules is all there.
Yeah.
And with that, I'll be ready to walk the Quebec neighborhoods and be like, and I'll feel like a part of the family.
Exactly. You'll be good.
Thank you. I will make sure I study up and make sure I'm ready. I'll make sure to do my homework. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So speaking of that, of course, representing Quebec, it feels like throughout the history of Wasiu, I think that. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that kind of wrong. I know you really want to make sure people respect that. My apologies.
It's all good. You try.
Thank you.
Wasiu, yeah.
There is quite a lot of a growing up melting pot within you. If we read this piece of work I read from here, being a pariah has always been a constant. A child divorced from a Nigerian Muslim father and a Haitian Protestant Christian mother, he was torn between worlds, seeing both communities as impure. A mixed breed, not entirely Haitian, not quite Nigerian. Even though he's Quebecois, a Quebec native, his immigrant parents tainted his claim to the province. My question to you is this: what speaks to you in the culture standpoint? Are you Quebec? Are you a bit of Haitian? Are you Nigerian? Like, what lures to you the most in like who you are as a person?
I don't want to give a cop-out answer and say all of them, but it kind of is that in Montreal. But you know what? You know what I'll say? I say I feel the most Montreal because Montreal is kind of that. That the people born of immigrant families, the people of my generation, we all kind of have that connection where it's like our parents are not from here, and we're not, especially if you're not white. So if you're black or a person of color, so you don't fit in with your parents' generation or country. You don't fit in with the white people in Quebec. So you kind of have, you find solace, you find your people, you find your tribe type of thing. And Montreal is that's what Montreal kind of represents. That's what MTLiens is. And yeah, that's what I feel. I feel like MTLiens is my real identity. It's like, you know what? We're from Montreal and this is how we kind of go about things. Like we could switch within 3 languages in a conversation. We could have so many different types of slang. We could just like so many different types of accents. It's like, it's kind of like the culture. The culture is not belonging, but you find your people when you don't belong. You know what I'm saying?
Understood. I really do appreciate that. Now, of course, I gotta speak on the EDM side of things. I have to speak highly on that because, of course, that was what lured me to you and to your incredible work, not just Majesty, but of course, Human with the Antagonist album, Angel or Devil. Human, I guess both. Of course, you have like stuff like the NCS things with Mutiny. We also have We Are Fury. We also have Black Tiger Sex Machine, BTSM, Claiborne Records, Die of God, Prayers, and all this amazing stuff. What lured you to want to be trying to step your toes into the EDM industry and that type of world? Nice trombone, by the way.
What's up?
Like,
you'll see him soon.
Yes, you're gonna absolutely kill it. Bass orchestra, they're gonna slay out there. I can hardly freaking wait. But what lured you into the EDM industry, the EDM world, performing for that type of energy?
Honestly, I was just telling my friend how I kind of got in contact with Apashe, and back when I was doing all the hip hop stuff, a frequent collaborator is Dear Lola. Shout out to Dear Lola. And Dear Lola hooked me up with Apashe because Apashe was looking for somebody to rap on a record, which was The Landing.
The Landing, that's where it all began.
Exactly. So
Copter Boy, I believe.
Yes.
The Copter Boy EP.
And then so I went to the studio, and I met John, and we worked on the record, and it was cool. Like, it was a cool experience, but I wasn't really familiar with the EDM world.
Right.
And then after a year or so later, John hit me up again, talked about, I want to kind of shift into more orchestral stuff and Mozart stuff, and then he sent me a playlist, and the first song I heard was Majesty, and I just stopped it there. I'm like, you know what? I didn't even listen to the rest of the EP. I just went with that record. I just went with Majesty. I wrote to it, went to the studio, we recorded it, and then the rest is history.
The rest is history.
But for so long, I kind of saw EDM as a side thing because I was, from the hip hop world at heart, and then slowly but surely, I'm like, you know what? These are my people too. So I kind of made that shift through over time, and now I'm here.
Do you think that your hip hop friends, your rap friends, could you is it possible for them to lure them and say, you know what? I try and listen to something that's brand new. If they don't listen to EDM that much, could Majesty be the thing you will play to lure them into that type of
100%. I think the stuff I do with Apashe is a really good connecting glue. With it kind of brings everybody together. People from the electronic world, people from the classical world as well, people from the hip hop world, and people who just like good music and really, really good music, and people just kind of want to come together and you know what? Yeah, I like this. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's the perfect in between.
Definitely, and I'm curious to know, is there a classical artist or a classical song that lures out to you as your favorite? It could be from Mozart, Beethoven, Holst, D.S. Bach. It could be whatever, but I'm just curious to know.
I'm gonna go for Vivaldi.
But if you say the 4 seasons,
yes.
Which season?
Winter.
Dude! No, there is barely any love for the seasons of winter and summer. We talk about spring, we talk about autumn. Those are really good, but summer and winter, they need more love. Vivaldi absolutely slayed it with those compositions. I'm so happy summer is. Yes!
Yeah, for sure.
I would say for someone like me, I would love to see Apashe or anyone do a twist on Chopin. Particularly, I think the Nocturne #1 movement. I heard that song in a movie called The Pianist. Very emotional, harrowing song, but that's where I first heard like 6-7 minutes of the entire composition of Chopin, and I could not believe it. It was too incredible. It was all over the place, but it was such a beautiful roller coaster that I wish more people could actually enjoy or listen to, because it goes off on piano. It goes off on piano. Apashe, please remember the name Chopin. He kills it every. He knows. Yeah. I just want to make sure. We talk about Beethoven. We hear about Beethoven, Mozart. We hear about all these people, and I feel like we gotta get some love to the little guys out there as well, like J.S. Bach and Vidalvi and all these people. Just, I want to hear some more classical stuff out there, because it's absolutely freaking incredible. For what he's doing and what you're doing is nothing short of incredible. Although at least the question as well, which is this: what will be next for Wasiu?
What's next for me? EP coming very soon. Within the next month or two. I've been working on it on Majestic Collective. It's called. Can I say it? Yeah, it's called The Traveler.
The Traveler.
And
that's what we've been seeing a whole lot throughout. Like, yes. I was gonna speak about that. Like, I saw a lot of like, hashtags for The Traveler.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like, it's like a brand new chapter for you and what you're trying to create.
100%. It's the next chapter. Yeah.
And for The Traveler, it's like, what does this kind of like entail? Is it like you traveling to different places, like that type of thing?
Traveling different genres, traveling different states of mind, traveling different eras. And I feel like The Traveler, it's like the evolution of the MTLien, Traveler. Like now I'm here. I'm finally laying claim to like this genre. I'm like, you know what? I'm here to stay. I'm gonna have a release in this genre, and like I'm gonna do this thing.
That is amazing to hear. I was gonna say maybe one of the songs could be called Odyssey, since it seems like it's such a journey out there. I feel like maybe that could be a good song title, or maybe a star song for it, because it just feels like it's gonna be traveling to so many places, not just places, but states of mind, all this stuff. I can hardly wait to see what's coming of that.
Actually, speaking of Odyssey, one of the songs on the EP, it's called Miles Away, and produced by by John Casey. So we a little something for you.
Oh my God, John Casey. Okay, John. If you guys don't know, remember the name John Casey.
Yeah.
He's absolutely freaking destroying it. I had the privilege of seeing him live twice, and he absolutely kills it every time.
Best set at Lost Lands 2024.
Yes.
Best set.
Most definitely. And I have, and again, the work he's been putting out there, the music he's been putting out there, with so many artists out there who I've listened to. John Casey, love you so much, man. He's the next person up in the EDM community. John Casey, love you so much, and I can hardly wait to hear what he's got in the style Miles Away. But again, time will tell. You gotta get your best shoes, get your map, get your cane ready, whatever you must do. Get your compass, get the globe, because we are gonna be walking miles and miles and miles. I can barely freaking wait. Thank you so much for all you've done so far. Sincerely appreciate so much. And again, I gotta wait to see you not only kill it, you absolutely destroyed it out there when you open it up. First, I gotta say right at the bat, I did not think at all you were gonna play Darkest All I See, because that was, I think, it was like one of the most underrated songs in your discography. For you to just play that at the last second, oh my God, I could not believe it. But
it's a great way to end the set.
It's an amazing way to end the set. But of course, when you're up there with Apashe, I know we're gonna be hearing some classics out there. Hopefully you hear like the first song you ever did. What was the song again?
The Landing.
The Landing. I hope we can hear The Landing, because that will be a throwback. Of course, we're gonna hear Majesty. We're gonna hear Human. We're gonna hear all of that. But
you also hear some of my new stuff on the EP. You hear some of that too.
In the Apashe set.
Yes, sir.
With the orchestra.
Yes, sir.
Oh! Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Yeah, you'll see. Yeah,
we're just gonna see. Time will tell. We're most definitely gonna see. Thank you so much again. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. This is Level Air Jr. Wasiu signing out. Love you guys so much. Peace.